Caitlin Clark's golf debut just made me so upset with the WNBA because the LPGA just did everything that the WNBA should have been doing this season.
Just now, Caitlin Clark rocked the world of sports for women, but it wasn't on the basketball court. Making her breathtaking debut at an LPGA prom caused a flurry of departures. Critics and admirers were astounded.
From this event, I have only seen and heard of positive things. I didn't hear one thing about how her fans are toxic. I didn't hear one thing about there being too much spotlight on Caitlin Clark and it should have maybe been on the professional golfers that are there. We didn't hear any of that.
As the LPGA provided treatment, the WNBA's silence was like that of a queen. Shocking what's happening behind the scenes.
Rant video. I honestly just got so triggered by Caitlin Clark's golf debut, and it is no fault of hers that I got upset. It is the fault of the WNBA because
Now, Caitlin Clark is a well-known brand, not only for her WNBA domination, but now for her unexpected performance in golf. Taking part in the LPGA tournament wasn't simply a typical celebrity appearance. It turned into an occasion that attracted national fans of the show flocked to the thousands requesting that the competition be shown on television. And when the LPGA hit, they didn't only highlight the jackpot. They transformed Caitlin into the focal point of the entire event in a
previous video how this Pro-Am event originally wasn't even going to be televised, but there were so many fans who were emailing the organization saying, how can we watch Caitlin? Can we come to the event? Can you live stream it? All of these things. And it ended up being put on.
Let's break it. The LPGA didn't simply happen to stumble across. They planned this chance. They carefully matched Caitlin with the top-ranked golfer is Nelly Korda. Across the world, consider the large renowned figure in women's basketball next to the best golfer who isn't coincidence. That's brilliant marketing. Caitlin and Nelly's pictures predominated. Social media generating excitement that went well beyond golfers. Basketball, golf, and other sports fans were captivated.
Fans were really excited about that. There was so much buzz online. She was trending on Twitter, all of the things. And the LPGA was promoting the crap out of this event. And they also did something really smart by pairing her up with their currently.
In the meanwhile, the WNBA is the league that contributed to Caitlin's ascent to stardom did not tweet and remained silent. Share or recognize Caitlin's accomplishments on the golf course. Patrons observed individuals began to inquire as to why her own league wasn't commemorating this significant occasion. There was a glaringly lost chance. In particular when the LPGA demonstrated the extent of star power bringing Caitlin to a sporting event.
Korda. So there are photos of Caitlin and Nelly literally everywhere. And the LPGA was so smart in doing this because they knew that there would be so many eyeballs on Caitlin. So if they put their number one golfer who is currently leading the sport and pushing the sport ahead, if they put her next to Caitlin for the entire event, that's just great. It's great for Nelly and it's great for everyone else.
It wasn't only the LPGA using Caitlin's celebrity. The story was quickly picked up by other media outlets. Bleacher Report for the Sports Center and numerous others followed her everywhere. From her swings to her at the occasion, conversations with fans about everything Caitlin did make the LPGA headlines. Took advantage of every opportunity to showcase. In addition to Caitlin, their top, it was a win-win situation for the golfers. Using the WNBA during Caitlin's fans of the debut season felt the league wasn't promoting her enough. Despite her outstanding performance and the indisputable impact of Caitlin Clark on audience, the league appeared reluctant to. Critics said that she should embrace her fame. That the WNBA was making an excessive effort to evenly distribute the focus, even when Caitlin was obviously the primary attraction. This reluctance escalated to more noticeable throughout the LPGA prom, whereas Caitlin's LPGA leaned into the WNBA's silence over its popularity. Social media was used by deafening fans to express their annoyance in a number of pointed. Discovered that this is precisely what they'd stated during the season, that the WNBA wasn't making sufficient efforts to leverage Caitlin's. Why would the WNBA hang on to star power? Some people think it's due to the league is hesitant to promote one gamer too much. There is a concern that Caitlin's attention could eclipse other participants or incite animosity. Others in the league contend that it's a lost chance because to antiquated marketing tactics. For any reason, the difference between the LPGA's strategy and Stark, the LPGA was the reason for the WNBA hush. Caitlin's success wasn't solely about the goal of marketing was to create a moment. They realized that Caitlin's attending their event wasn't only beneficial to her, it was beneficial to women's by matching her with Nelly Korda in golf and encouraging their communication with the LPGA raised all of their sports enthusiasts who had never before watched golf were all of a sudden apparently keeping an eye on good sales engagement and interaction on social media for her part. Caitlin embraced the time she posed for and signed autographs, pictures, and even made jokes about her abilities or absence of it among golf course spectators enjoyed it because it made her more relatable. Only a few number of athletes made it to the LPGA. Took advantage of this by sharing videos and pictures of Caitlin engaging with admirers for athletes alike. In the meantime, the NBA's with every second that went by, the quiet grew louder. Day fans began contrasting the two. The WNBA and other organizations did not arrive. Appeared attractive, many contended that the league had made one of its biggest mistakes. Chances to display its players on this is hardly the first time on a worldwide stage. The WNBA has been under fire from supporters for their marketing approach across Caitlin's during the debut season. There were times when it appeared that the league was reluctant to grant her the limelight in spite of her performances that broke records, and the unquestionable boost she gave to Caitlin's audience wasn't always played a significant role in league. Critics of promotions contended that the WNBA was making too much effort to avoid showing preference. Even though it was obvious that Caitlin was the LPGA Pro's main attraction, how much knowledge the WNBA could gain from different groups that the LPGA didn't reluctance to make Caitlin the main character demonstrate their comprehension of her existence raised awareness of not only her, but also the whole game, and by accepting that they established a win-win circumstance for everyone that attended the celebration. For Caitlin was not merely an opportunity to play golf. It was an opportunity to engage with supporters in a fresh approach, and it was a chance to demonstrate the potential of women's sports to appeal to the general public. However, pay attention to the WNBA. Missed out on by being quiet, they allowed the storyline fans are within the LPGA's control. Couldn't stop wondering what if Caitlin's WNBA had adopted her success in the same manner, which results in us to the more significant query, what does this concern for women's sports' future? Star power has been demonstrated by Caitlin Clark. Can go beyond particular sports and raise awareness of women's sports as leagues, but for that to occur, must welcome those times and take advantage of every chance to advertise themselves. The LPGA demonstrated to players that it's the WNBA may now have an option to learn from now on and begin accepting its stars or run the danger of slipping behind the LPGA Pro. Occasion with Caitlin Clark shown not just her adaptability as an athlete, but also brought up important inquiries regarding how leagues manage their stars as the ripple repercussions of the event continued to criticize the WNBA. Become more vocal supporters, analysts, and even other athletes started analyzing why the WNBA was hesitant to take advantage of, in particular, Caitlin Clark's star power when the LPGA showed how it ought to. Caitlin Clark's influence on the LPGA tournament wasn't a coincidence. It was thoughtfully constructed by combining her with the LPGA's Nelly Korda, made sure that two strong athletes from various sports made each other more appealing. Basketball fans were first exposed to golf, and golfers were captivated by Caitlin's disposition and spirit of competition spirit. The tactic was so successful that for days, social media sites were buzzing. Includes images, videos, and highlights from. However, the WNBA event seemed to be on the sidelines. Its Twitter account didn't share anything regarding Caitlin's involvement, nor did it recognize the occasion in any formal role. For a league that continues to battle for widespread acceptance of this choice felt perplexed and couldn't resist contrast the planned marketing of the LPGA with the lost chances for the WNBA. The disparity was stark, and the fallout was immediately. Some conjectured that the WNBA's unwillingness to emphasize Caitlin Clark was motivated by worries regarding overshadowing other league players has always taken pleasure in promoting instead of individual talent, collective talent stars. Even though this strategy has advantages additionally, it restricts the ability to produce famous people who can attract casual admirers influenced by Caitlin's fame in the sport by her vivacious nature, and unquestionably, talent is a chance to raise awareness about the LPGA. Capitalized on the WNBA overall on this strategy flawlessly by demonstrating Caitlin with Korda, their best golfer. They did not downplay Korda's accomplishments. Rather, they gave her the collaboration, prioritized both athletes' strengths, and developed a story that appealing to both sports supporters. It was a marketing and IT masterclass. Many people are curious as to why the WNBA did not adopt a comparable tactic during Caitlyn's rookie season. For the entirety of her first year, Caitlyn Clark showed in the WNBA her reasons for being a generational talent, games that continuously draw more numbers of viewers, and her performance frequently become viral moments on the court. However, the league seems reluctant to completely accept her fame despite the criticism that pointed to an absence of marketing collateral showcasing Caitlyn. Especially at pivotal times, even her rookie of the season recognition for the year felt minimal. As opposed to the fanfare that surrounds the way the LPGA treated her throughout her time in college, of Caitlyn at the prom service emphasized the potential of the WNBA. If the LPGA accepted it, stars realized that having Caitlyn around was an opportunity to present a fresh audience within women's golf. They embraced the Caitlyn Clark's influence in advancing her involvement on social media, live broadcasts, and interviews with the. As a result, the event seemed larger. Life is improving. Not only Caitlyn, but all of the sports fans soon realized the reason. Social media became popular bed of debate with numerous critics. Some criticized the WNBA for its silence. That the league's hesitation to advance Caitlyn was motivated by a fear of causing other athletes or groups. That others thought it was a lost chance brought by antiquated marketing techniques. Regardless, why the WNBA's silence turned into the backlash itself is a discussion point. Wasn't just for sports fans or analysts. Several analysts chimed in on the inquiry, why did the WNBA appear reluctant to take advantage of Caitlyn's fame? A commentator said that the LPGA handled Caitlyn enjoys being the superstar she is, but the WNBA pretended that her accomplishment was an after. Considering whether they wish to expand the league, they must begin to rejoice their stars, don't minimize them. The WNBA's reluctance to embrace. Additionally, Caitlyn's fame spurred a wider discussion regarding how women's sports are promoted to female athletes. For years, encountered difficulties in obtaining acknowledgement and assistance, even in situations where they performances that are on par with or better than Caitlyn's male equivalents. Triumph in crossover at the LPGA Prom demonstrated the size of the audience. If leagues for women's sports are ready to enjoy the moment, Caitlyn even Clark seems indifferent to the controversy. That she continued to concentrate on interacting with followers and taking pleasure in her interactions with athletes and spectators at the prom received a lot of appreciation, enhancing her reputation as a relatable and marketable figure. That fans valued her pragmatic demeanor, and the LPGA made sure to emphasize these instances. For the LPGA on all of its platforms, the event was a huge success. There was an increase in watchers, according to reports. Figures for both the prom broadcast and as heightened social media interaction. Additionally, product sales increased with supporters ready to back the sport following observing Caitlyn's participation in the LPGA's capacity to take advantage of this opportunity showed how successful strategic marketing may help a sports business expand. Viewers of the WNBA, but lost out on the opportunity to partake in this achievement by not encouraging Caitlyn's involvement participation. The league suffered a chance to get in touch with new fans and display the talent that exists within its ranks. The WNBA's official was silent. Channels felt especially startling in light of the league's continuous initiatives to boost awareness and assistance for women's. This isn't the first time that basketball, the WNBA, has come under fire for their marketing strategy. In the past, the league has been charged with violating advertising its athletes while neglecting to take advantage of viral events. Caitlyn Clark made his prom debut as a reminder of what might happen when an organization embraces its stars wholeheartedly. Caitlyn's promotion by the LPGA ought to act as a warning to as the discussion goes on, the WNBA. The WNBA's capabilities are now the main focus. Going forward, both fans and analysts both concur that the league must reconsider its approach to marketing, especially in terms of advertising players on their own. Caitlyn Clark provides a special chance to bring greater focus on basketball for women, and the league cannot allow such to happen. One potential opportunity is lost. The answer is to embrace a more balanced strategy for marketing in which the league draws attention to both individual stars and the players' combined talent. This approach could assist the WNBA in achieving a larger audience without making them feel uncomfortable. Other participants, in addition to the league, may examine how the LPGA has handled Caitlyn's first appearance as a model for how to produce moments that are meaningful to supporters. The LPGA's success also highlights the significance of cross-sport partnerships by asking Caitlyn to take part in the LPGA Prom, provided a new audience to its sport. and produced a moment that went beyond conventional limits that the WNBA could gain from looking into related chances to display their players in various settings. As the dust settles, there is no doubt about Caitlin Clark's the influence goes much beyond basketball. Taking part in the LPGA tournament demonstrated that she have the celebrity power to raise whatever sport she participates in for the WNBA, the task at hand is to accept that star power and utilize it to expand the league. Success in the LPGA provides a clear route forward. However, the WNBA must take the fans of the first step are still optimistic that the WNBA will take this lesson to heart and begin to honor its stars more. Caitlin Clark's path is essentially far from finished, and her capacity to unquestionably women's sports are being transformed. Inquiring as to whether the WNBA is prepared to embrace that potential in its entirety and accompany Caitlin on her journey to magnificence as Caitlin Clark keeps create a stir in the sports world. Her narrative is a reminder to pay close attention to. Regarding the ability of famous athletes to surpass their sport and motivate a new generation of WNBA fans, it's a chance to reconsider its strategy and guarantee that its most brilliant stars receive the acknowledgement they are due. The ball is in. Will they now ascend to their court? So, how do you view the WNBA? Quiet and the masterclass of the LPGA in do you think Caitlin Clark should be marketed? This will serve as a reminder to women's basketball. Do share your comments with us and remember to like the comments below. Watch this video, follow the channel, and for a deeper look, click the notification bell. Explores the most significant sports tales. Your assistance enables us to provide you with the thank you for seeing the stuff you enjoy. Keep in mind that brilliance isn't only about talent, is about seeing the opportunity and taking advantage of it. See you later.